Hello and welcome to today's LinkedIn Live with SEEBURGER. I'm Sandrine Wagner, Digital Marketing and Campaign Manager, and I'm here with my colleague Daniel Kruse, Senior Advisor and Consulting Innovation Enabler. And you took on that specific role of the AI evangelist within that role. What exactly does that mean?
As an evangelist, I see myself having mostly two roles. On the one hand, enabling our internal workforce to do the best out of AI and to use it most efficiently. And on the other hand, to spread the word on our client side.
Okay, so I think you're exactly the right person to talk to today. Daniel, from your point of view, how does SEEBURGER approach AI?
SEEBURGER looks at AI from two different angles. On the one hand, we see AI as a boost for our own software tools, such as BIS Mapping Designer, IWS, or really any other SEEBURGER software. On the other hand, clients often have an AI strategy, and we at SEEBURGER can help orchestrating their AI to make sure data is synchronized and stored in a way to always be in the best way accessible for their artificial intelligence. However, today I would like to focus on the first wave, on the approach that AI supports us.
That's actually a good call. Let's talk about the tools. So how does AI support the user in generating value and benefits for themselves and their company?
There are multiple aspects to it. On the one hand, we have the educational aspect. Nowadays, we have labor shortage. We do need skilled labor, but we have an entry barrier. We have to educate people joining from university, college, to our workforce, or really on our client side to join their workforce. And they need to be able to do their integration works. To do so, we have now a sparring partner. In the case of AI, you can really ask any question at any given time, and you get the answer in the right tool, helping you with your needs. You don't have to be shy. You don't have to wait for the mentor to be available. You don't have to speak the same language as the mentor. In any case, you can access the knowledge. On the other side, experts are able to generate output in a rather quick time. Juniors, however, with the power of AI, are able to catch up quickly now. With the supercharging of AI, they really can achieve a very good output in a very small time. That is only about education and input-output. But there are really, all kind of different use cases to it.
That's a good call as well. So there was a lot of theory. Maybe can you visualize that more, please, in a use case or example?
I will give you two examples. I will start with the mapping designer. In the mapping designer, you would have a use case typically such as migrate from migration software with mappings in XSLT to BIS Mapping Designer source code. What you now can do, you can read the XSLT source code, feed it to an AI, and with the power of AI, you can access the meaning of the legacy XSLT mapping without having the developer handy. You don't need the software to run the XSLT code. You can just understand it. But you cannot just understand it. You can actually transform it into BIS Mapping Designer code with the power of AI. And you get copy and paste able source code. That's one thing. The other example I have in my head is the Integrator workspace. In the Integrator workspace, we are thinking AI natively. That means you have AI wherever you are in the software. Imagine building a flow as a story. You are not starting by reading a technical documentation. You are actually starting by telling the tool what you want to do. You say, I come from here, I go to there. For example, your use case could be, I have an HTTP listener and I want to listen to a URL, want to do something, and then post the result probably in a Shopify connector. What you now can do is you tell this story, the AI, With having the right connector then in place, you can even configure the connector with AI. So for example, if you want to change parameters, let's say you want to change the URL. Instead of figuring out which parameter correlates to the URL, you simply tell the AI, change the URL path to XYZ, and the AI does it. That's not it. Within the process, you want to transform the data, probably in JavaScript or the mapping language. Now you can use AI again. You can, for example, write a little JavaScript which is adding a timestamp to your message. After you are done with your process, you can click the documentation button. This is a live AI documentation. The AI will document your very process in natural language with all the content live when you click. So you don't have to worry if your documentation is up to date or really even existing. It is there at any given time and it is always up to date.
Okay, that's actually an interesting point, because even though we're talking about artificial intelligence, it still has a lot to do with people. Like, it supports them, it boosts their productivity, it helps them access knowledge and even share their own knowledge. So that raises the question to me of how AI impact a corporate culture.
The culture will be impacted in the sense that AI fosters a culture of openness. To bring up the example from the education again, the employees don't have to be shy. They can really ask all sorts of questions in any language they prefer, in a way they prefer. Let's imagine a person is rather shy, another person is rather extrovert or introvert. Depending on their particular personality, they can address their very needs and get helped. On the other hand, we can feeding an AI. If you have an AI strategy within your company, you can actually use your senior knowledge and put it into a rack, some kind of AI database, if you will. And that solves the problem of expertise. Many companies have the problem they don't know how to transform their senior knowledge into some sort of output. Do they have to create probably millions of trainings? The answer is with AI, you don't. You put that knowledge into a database for AI, and then you read it from there. Typically a vector database. And by the way, we can talk about this in one of the follow-up sessions. But yeah, this means the culture of openness and knowledge spreading will be fostered a lot by AI.
Okay, well, thank you for all these insights and sharing your knowledge. So I think today made one thing clear. AI is a practical, always available partner. It supports quick learning, bridges knowledge gaps, and keeps things moving even though experts are not around, talking about the skilled labor shortage, for example. It lowers entry barriers, boosts confidence, and saves time, especially when talking about highly manual and complex tasks. And yeah, so I think the bottom line is AI speeds up work, it supports teams for everything without replacing people.
It is an assistant eventually.
Yeah, supports them, makes them more productive. And yeah, let me come back to that thing we talked about at the beginning, the two-way boost. So today we talked about the tools like integrated AI, what we offer to help integrators speed up their productivity. But actually, it would be interesting to learn how we enable or orchestrate the user's AI strategy. Maybe let's schedule a follow-up meeting for that.
Let's do it another time. Stay tuned.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. You can still leave any comments or questions in the comment box, and we'll come back to that later and answer everything that hasn't been answered yet. So we hope to welcome you again soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.